I've only stabbed somebody like one time. Try not to be so violent. I'm Vianey Otero, and I'm 24 years old. My family members, it's me, my mom, my younger sister, and my baby brother. So it's basically 4 of us. My family's background is my mom's Costa Rican Chinese and my dad was Colombian. Well, my siblings are young, so they're still attending school. My mom, she's a hairdresser. She works in a salon and she does hair and nails. Yeah, me and my family, like every Christmas season, we make tamales. My mom, she usually forces us into helping her cook her good tamales. So yeah, that's what we usually do. That's the tradition for our little family. I love my family. I just wish things, would, I guess, get better between us, like our relationship, because we don't really have a relationship. My mom, she's pretty strict, and I don't know. I wish she was kind of more supportive of her children, and I just wish people got along better. My childhood was really, I guess, short. It was fun in the years that, I felt like I was a child. My mom, she was always working, so, I didn't really have much of a childhood because, I was always with my mom when she was working because she was a single parent. And, my mom, even though she was a single parent, she still tried to, like, help me in, having a childhood and, doing children things. But obviously, when you're a single parent, it's kind of hard. So I didn't really do much. Like, I was usually in school programs or, like, my mom would send me away for, like, the summer or whenever I was out of school. And, yeah, that's pretty much how I spent my childhood, just usually doing regular things with my mom that an adult does. Mm-hmm. I guess the nicest memories were, being young and my mom going traveling with me, taking me to the beach, taking me to Costa Rica with her, and like, going to the farm with my family and my cousins, going on field trips with my mom and her throwing me birthday parties. Those are really my best childhood memories. I spent a lot of my childhood in the streets, I guess trying to find my spot, or I guess my spot in this world. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be around, who I wanted to become. I was kind of scared of my future being a child, so I used to just always run away and I guess try to explore the world by myself and learn on my own. When I was like 11 years old, I had got molested by like my mom's boyfriend at the time's brother. They had came from overseas, and when I was young, yeah, he had like touched me when my mom was away at work. And I had never really told anybody that until like recently I told my mom. Probably this year, yeah. A few months ago. My mom didn't even believe me. She said I was lying because me and her like were like we were arguing during the time, and she didn't believe it. She just thought I was lying, making it up. And so I basically didn't really go into details or like bother even telling her how the story went or how things happened, because my mom just automatically assumed I was lying. So I just dealt with it. I was just like, whatever. I guess that's why I never really told anybody, because I kind of figured she wouldn't have believed me. My teenage years were fun. They were fun, and then at the same time crazy, and then bad too, because I had went through so much. Like, it was basically a very spiral situation. Like, my teenage lifestyle was really crazy growing up in New York, because I always was just trying to find my spot, I guess, like who to be with and who to hang out with and who to surround myself with. And yeah, I just went through a lot. Like, you wouldn't really expect things to happen, but I guess living in New York City, random things happen all the time, so you just come across a lot of crazy shit. And growing up out here, I just went through a lot. Like, I was usually fighting. It was either I was fighting or I was, doing drugs, or I was partying. So I didn't really go to school. Like, I was cutting school just to like be able to get high or something, because I was having so many problems at home. And but the good thing about my teenage life was I was able to grasp a lot and learn quickly. And not only that, but I kind of grew up fast, so I was able to realize right from wrong real quick after my first couple of mistakes. I lost a lot of friends to gang violence and street violence, and that kind of freaked me out for a little while, you know. That was probably the worst memory, losing my brother, because I was there, and not only that, but just like the whole image and how things went down kind of like stuck in my head forever. That was something that kind of like basically made me go crazy for a little bit. I didn't expect that to happen when I was young, and I didn't expect it to happen to him, obviously. You know, it was pretty much random. My brother, basically what had happened was he had gotten into an altercation with this guy from this other neighborhood, and they had like got into a physical fight, a fist fight, and my brother basically like had beat up this guy in front of all his friends, and he retaliated. I guess he felt embarrassed about the whole situation, so he ended up killing my brother. He came back and basically shot him in the head, and basically that was it. That's how it happened. It was pretty fast and random. The best memory I have of him is him being so silly. He was the type of person that like he didn't really care no matter what happened. He would always try to make things like feel better. Like even though you had a horrible, shitty day, he'll still make the best out of it. He'll still be like, "Oh, it's okay. Things will get better." He was always like the type of person to like motivate you, like to not be so down. And he was always happy. That was one of the best memories, him being happy, smiling all the time. It was pretty cool that he was like that. I started escorting when I was like 18, almost 19, I guess. I started doing it in Washington Heights. I had this best friend, and basically she had introduced me into the game of escorting. I don't know, I just randomly fell into it. Like I never really expected to fall into it, to be honest, because the way my mom raised me, she was always like holy with everything. And but in the predicament I was in, like I was homeless, I was house hopping, and it was hot, and I needed money, and I was young, and I needed money now because a job wouldn't do that for me at the time. The first time doing it, it was pretty crazy. We had got this double date basically, and she had one guy, I had another guy, and when we first got there, like it was pretty weird for me. I was just like, I don't even know what to do. Like, what do I do? Because I was actually so also new to the sex scene. I didn't lose my virginity till I was like 17, almost turning 18, so I didn't really know much at all. And she basically like told me the steps of what I should do, and we went to like our own separate rooms, and basically that's how I started. I just started off doing sexual things with the guy, I guess. And after that, it was done. Basically, it was like 3 rooms, and in the 3 rooms, one of them, like 2 of them were like working rooms where girls would work out of and have clients. They would have their own clients come to the brothel, or they would post you up on Backpage and drive you around to make money. And that's how first I started. I don't even remember the guy, to be honest. I try not to remember any of the people I had seen or see. I try to like make it basically something I don't remember. Like it's like, I guess like subtracting a memory out of my mind. It doesn't happen in my head basically. It's like a minute thing. I met a lot of people, a lot of cool people. Even though I never really keep in contact with people, I still came across a lot of genuine people that, tried to help me. And another good thing about it was, I guess, being able to see how men act, like how men really are behind the scenes, A lot of women feel like men are a certain way and they don't really know how they are. And I feel like me being an escort, I'm always able to see how men are for their true colors. And I guess that was another good thing, being the person that's in the back, not being played. That always kind of was a good feeling for me because it made me in my head feel like I'm not this dumb girl getting played. To be honest, I've always had like a upfront relationship with all of my clients, so I guess they feel like they're not playing me. They kind of know they're not, because at the end of the day, they're paying me and I know what's going on. Like, I know you have a family back at home. I know you're probably married with like 5 children. So it's just like, in reality, we both know you're not playing me. So I guess I was never really getting played. It was just a pretty honest relationship. The best thing about escorting was the money. Being able to buy all the materialistic things that I couldn't afford when I was younger, that my mom couldn't afford for me. Being able to travel, meeting guys that were so easily influenced by me that I was just being able to control them and their money. I went to Miami for my 21st birthday, actually, with this guy. He had flew me out for like a week with him, and it was pretty cool. Like, I had went shopping every day with him and took me out to the finest restaurants, so that was also a good memory. The worst part about escorting was getting robbed. a lot of the times guys, made me feel horrible about myself. Like some guys come off rude, so there was a lot of time guys would try to, talk to me however the hell they wanted to, and I wouldn't put up with it. So I guess that was something else that I didn't like about it, because in my head I'm just like, just because I do this doesn't mean that I'm not human, so it doesn't give you the right to talk to me however you want or treat me however you want. So that was a downfall. Another downfall was, almost getting raped and having a gun put to my head over money, like people trying to rob me over my money. And not only that, but also being scared. That was another downfall about it. I was always scared. I didn't know if the next person I was gonna see was gonna kill me, try to rob me, kidnap me. When I had got kidnapped, I was with my homegirl, and at the time I was escorting and also stripping. And my friend had told me that we were gonna go with this guy to like dance. And when we got picked up, the guy was pretty regular. He was cool, He didn't seem weird. And he drove us like 3 hours away, literally into like Middletown, New York, which is literally 3 hours away. And when we got there, he ended up telling us that he was a cop, but I guess he was like a crooked cop, and told us basically that we weren't gonna be dancing, that we had to basically, sell ourselves at the bar that we were gonna go to, and if we didn't come back with any money, we were gonna be left behind. So basically, I was just playing along the whole time. Like, I played really smart. My homegirl, she was a drug addict at the time. And she was like off hard drugs, so she didn't even know. She was just like out of everything. Like, she was off PCP and just thought everything was okay and things weren't. And me being a good friend, I let her know, like, this guy's gonna leave you behind if you don't do anything that you're telling him to do. And basically, he wouldn't take us back home. He said, we're not going home until we made money, or we were just gonna be left behind. And after that, like, when I told my homegirl, that's when, we reacted. And he had went into the store to buy us something to drink. And basically, I just took his car and I drove off with it for like 3 hours until we got back to New York. And when we got to New York, I held his car for ransom. I emptied out his car. I took all his belongings, and I parked his car in a parking lot. And I had told him if he didn't send me money, he wouldn't get his car back. And it wasn't even his car at the time, so he had to send me money. He had sent me money, and I ended up giving him the location. And after that, I just kept it pushing. Yeah, escorter changed me a lot, actually. Like, at first, when I first started doing it, I felt horrible about it. I didn't like it. I tried to hide it for so long from everybody, including my mom. I never really even told her about it until recently. But yeah, I always felt super down about it, and I didn't really like that part of my life. That was something that I always try to keep down low for a reason, because growing up, I never even gave off that vibe, that sexual vibe, that I was, a freaky girl, or that I was gonna even grow up to be something like this. So At first, it took a toll on me. It kind of hurt me emotionally because I was just like, this is not who I wanted to be. This is not what I saw for myself growing up. And then I started realizing, probably like 2 years ago, probably like a year ago, honestly, that I shouldn't feel bad about it because there's females out here doing all of this sexual stuff for nothing, and I'm doing it because I'm trying to survive and, get to where I want to get to. So I started realizing that I shouldn't feel down because at the end of the day, this is something that I'm doing. This is my body, and not only that, but I'm very discreet about it. And it's not like I'm out here in the streets, not getting respected by others, because people still respect me, regardless of what I do. So, yep. Yeah, I learned how to shut down people later on down the road. At first, I didn't know how to. It was kind of like traumatizing for me because I would see these people and these clients, and some weren't even attractive, and I'm just like, ugh, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? So it was just like a constant reminder, like, ew. But then, I don't know, like randomly, I was just like, I shouldn't really pay mind to it. Like, I should just basically put a dollar bill to his face and just keep it moving, because if I really put thought into every single guy I see, I'm just gonna be really traumatized. So I didn't want to be traumatized, so I just had to basically force myself to not see your face when it came to money. But now, now that I'm older and, I don't really see anybody and just anybody. Now I'm really particular with who I see. I'm more picky with my clientele because I don't want to just see anybody, because now it's not even no longer about the money. Now it's just more about me. Like, if I'm getting paid, even if I'm getting paid, I want to get paid for something I want to do, not basically being forced. Well, not forced, but, swindled into doing it. When I come across an ugly client, usually what I do is I try to still be nice, but most of the time I become really rude because I'm just like, oh, why am I going through this? So I get mad because I'm like, what the heck? Like, out of all people, me, you had to pick. Like, so, yeah, usually I'm just like kind of mean to the client. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like, fuck, why do I have to do this? But then I start to realize that I shouldn't be so fucked up. So I become, I guess, nicer, because I'm like, you're paying me and you're trying to help me as well. So I should be more, nice about it. But usually what I try to do is just like picture somebody else. Just be like, this guy is hot. He's not ugly. In my head, I'm just like, his money is beautiful. The money is always beautiful. That's what I usually try to like focus on. Well, I almost got killed twice. I had got stabbed before, and when I got stabbed, basically like I didn't go to the hospital for like 2 days, and my stomach caught an infection and I almost died from it. So I was in the hospital for like a month and some change because of that, because then like I had got an infection from getting stabbed, and on top of that, then I got a staph infection from the hospital. So I almost died from that. And then the second time, I had basically got a gun pulled out to me, and they had put a gun to my head and told me if I didn't give up all my money that I was gonna get killed. And I didn't give up my money, so, but I still didn't get killed because I knew how to get my way out of it. So I feel like when you show fear, that's when people try to like really do you even more dirtier, I guess. So I just try to stay, calm as possible, and not be scared so much. Because at the end of the day, I feel like, everybody's time is gonna come. So if it's my time, then I guess it's my time. If not, then it's not. Yeah, carry a taser and a gun. I mean, not a gun, a knife. Yeah, I usually carry those two things on me all the time because it's crazy in the streets. Yeah, I've had to cut somebody before. Unfortunately, when I had got stabbed, I had stabbed the person back because I wasn't just gonna stay stabbed. And yeah, I've only stabbed somebody like one time, and that was it. Um, the streets taught me to be alert, to not trust nobody. It taught me to always watch my back. It taught me that you can't sometimes even trust family, to be honest. Um, streets taught me that your best friend could be your enemy, so you can't really put your all into somebody. My time in jail was long. It felt long, everlasting. Felt like it wouldn't end. Like, it just felt like I was in a maze that I couldn't get out of, basically. I was just like, is this ever gonna stop? Um, well, the charge I had got charged for was like assault robbery. But like eventually, like after like two years and some change, they like put it towards like a misdemeanor because like they had found me not guilty. Well, I got locked up in a few different locations. I got locked up in New York and Rikers Island. They have like basically a jail called Rosie's for in Rikers, and I spent a couple months there. But the longest I did was in Passaic County in New Jersey, and that was like a year and a couple of months. Everyday life in jail was stressful because you didn't know what you were gonna wake up to. You didn't know if because someone, a female, felt some type of way that it would just throw off the whole vibe in a jail cell. Like one person can feel some type of way about you, and it's like the whole jail cell will feel some type of way about you, or like it was just like always on some you gotta choose sides, and it was like I don't know, it was kind of hectic. Like it was just too much. I didn't have. I felt like even though I had my little cell, and you know I had my I guess my cellmate there. it still felt like I was just clustered, like always. I felt like I was always with a lot of people, even though we had our own cells. So I don't know, it was pretty annoying and draining. The worst experience was all the fighting. There's so much fights all the time, like, because there was so many females, and females obviously have their menstrual cycle and their bipolarness. I feel like every female is already bipolar. It caused a lot of crazy situations, like, and a lot of petty situations, actually. There was like an issue once. Some girl had took this girl's commissary food, and the other girl like ended up cutting her face because of it, because of her taking her food. And it was kind of really petty because I was just like, wow, like, you just cut somebody's face over food. But I guess that's what happened, you know, when you're in there, you're in like savage mode. Everybody's like hungry and in like attack mode, I guess. So yeah, that had happened, and I felt really bad about the girl because her face was like messed up. After that, she was pretty, but things happen. Well, I always played it smart. I got into fights because obviously when you first go to jail, like, people try to test you. I don't know, I guess that's just how it is when you get locked up. You know, everybody just wants to see what type of person you are, how much you're willing to, like, let things slide, or, you know, how much you're willing to even allow people to do things to you. So, yeah, I did fight a lot at the beginning. When I was younger, when I was locked up being younger, I was always fighting in the programs and in jails and juvenile, because I was already an angry kid. I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to basically control my feelings any other way besides fighting. So, yeah, I did fight a lot. But as I got older and, you know, I was still going to jail, I kind of had learned to maneuver and to avoid certain situations and to, like, stay away from the pettiness. I don't fight fair. When I get angry, like, when I fight, I kind of lose conscious of my way of thinking. Like, I black out, and all I remember is basically, like, just beating the person up and then going back to normal after. Like, I'm just like, I just did this. I don't even be remembering half the time when I'm fighting somebody. That's kind of why I don't even like to fight, because I could possibly kill somebody, you know, like that, like blacking out and not knowing what I'm doing. The good thing about being in jail was meeting a couple women that, you know, were living my situation, or that have lived my situation, and that were still in there trying to get their lives together. That kind of, you know, made me realize that that was not the lifestyle I wanted. So being in jail, I guess that was a good thing about it, that it actually enforced me to, like, get through my head that this was not the lifestyle for me.
Everybody outside, come inside. Please. Yo, guys, what's up? It's me again.
I started doing music when I was like 15, 16. It started off, basically I had got jumped, and when I got jumped, they made a diss song about me, and that made me, I guess, write a song back. And then after that, when I came out of jail, the last time I actually, went to jail, that's basically when I started taking it serious, which was now about to be 3 years ago. I'm able to express myself in ways that I can't in real life because I'm not so social. I like doing music because people actually listen to my music and, tell me that my music is something they can relate to, and that's kind of the reason why I do music, because I want people to relate. I want to be able to send a message, and I want people to be able to know that just because you're struggling, that doesn't mean you can't strive for what you want to be. When I write my music, I usually write about my struggles, how I'm feeling, pain, me being angry, my haters, people that motivate me, my family, people I've lost. I usually write about everything that I'm currently going through. I speak about going to jail, being broke, because nowadays everybody's so quick to lie about their lifestyle and say they're living a certain lifestyle, and in reality still sleeping on their mom's couch. So it's just I try to honestly be as real as possible, because I don't want to portray a fake image, and I don't want to live a facade. I want my career to actually be me. I don't want to be pretending to be something I'm not, because I already basically lived my life trying to pretend. And now I'm at a stage in my life where I want to be me, and I want people to like me for me, not for something I'm not. When I met this female fan, she had came up to me crying, and I was just like, why are you crying? I was kind of lost. I'm like, am I getting pranked right now? What's going on? And then for her to speak to me and tell me, that she understands my lyrics, and that my lyrics is things that she has gone through and and struggled with, that made me feel good. And not only that, but the fact that she was also on the heavy side of weight. It made me feel good, because that's what I honestly always wanted. I wanted to make music for the girls that never felt they were good enough for anybody, or good enough for society, or didn't feel comfortable in society. So, yeah, it felt good. Yeah, being involved in the music industry, you come across a lot of guys that are in the industry that want to exchange sexual favors for a favor, and it's just why can't you just help me? Why can't you just not be so horny and take me serious as an artist? Which gets really frustrating, because it's then you'll come across somebody that really wants to help you, but you don't really know, because it's all these other people have already tried the sexual way, and then you're just are you here for that as well? All guys have asked to have sex with me for an exchange of them sending me instrumentals, or helping me getting inside the deeper into the music industry. I've even had the guys try to touch me while I was sleeping. It's just a lot of crazy situations. You can't really trust anybody. I have not found somebody interesting in so long. It's hard. It's hard to find people that are interesting nowadays because everybody's just so boring and everybody's going through the same shit. So it kind of gets boring. The last time was a few years back, and it was with Lamont, and he was interesting for a couple of years until he passed away. We met outside. I was walking, and he just came up to me and tried talking to me, and we exchanged numbers, and then we just started talking like that way. Then like we became cool on social sites, and we became friends after that. Then started dating, eventually. Well, at first I didn't want to really talk to him on that type of level. But then, I don't know, like, he just started getting to me, I guess. Like, because he was so persistent. Like, he would not stop trying. So, like, after a while, I just basically gave in. I was like, all right, I'll talk to you for a little bit. And then we would talk and we started hanging out. And, yeah, eventually from hanging out so much, we just started going out. The first time he told me he loved me was when I was away in California. We were talking through FaceTime, and like our anniversary was coming up because we always had like an on and off relationship. Like, but even though it was on and off, he would always like still, mention our anniversary, and we would still talk. So I was in California, and I was going through a lot of mental things, I guess, at the time. And I don't know, I had spoken to him and I was feeling down, and I kind of felt lonely. I don't know. I was like going through a stage in my life where I just felt like I didn't have anybody. And I had told him about it, and that's when he had told me he loved me. Lamar had got shot in front of his house. Basically, he got killed by this guy that he knew over some money, and supposedly over a girl as well. And yeah, it was basically November 27th, and this guy basically shot him and he died. Well, I was supposed to actually go to his house that night when he passed away, and I didn't end up going, so I fell asleep. And the next day, I had went to my friend's house, and while I was at her house, his friend Felipe had posted a picture of him saying "Rest in peace," and that's how I found out about it, from seeing everybody just posting things online about him. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was in disbelief, and I was really hurt. I don't know, I was going through so many emotions at that time. I was angry, mad, sad, empty. I didn't know how to feel. I kind of felt I don't know. It was a mixture of feelings, to be honest. It kind of was just a feeling I don't want to feel again, basically. I didn't attend his funeral. Um, I had a show in California the week of his funeral, so I didn't even attend. And I thought it was best for me not to attend because that's something I didn't want to remember him as. Like, I didn't want my last memory with him to be his funeral, so I just didn't even bother going. The first thing that comes to mind, I don't know. When I think about him, I just think about the good times, like all the good memories we had together and the things we used to do, the things we used to talk about. And I just try to remember him happy. He did a lot for me. He would always make sure I was okay. He would call to check up on me even if I wasn't in town. He would always just make sure I was okay. He always wanted to know what was going on with my life, what I was up to, who I was with. He would show up to my mom's house if I was mad at him and just, try to talk to me and make things better if he would mess up. And I don't know, he was just attentive. I guess that's what made me feel loved. Him being so attentive of me. He made me feel special.
Moving bricks, bitch, I'm about to catch a lick. Hold on, talk slick, I don't snatch your ass quick. I don't smoke no damn nicks. Fuck it quick, tell that bitch to suck a dick. If they want war, tell her pull up to my door. Say you're back as a corpse. On me ain't no marks, I doesn't send a dog. Look her up, little nigga, don't cry. I don't care if you alive, you know me like that. You don't know how I act, talk behind my back, out behind my head. Try to play with my bread, crazy bitch with crazy dimes. Better off that, never bite the hand I fed. Taught you useless hoes how to make profit, how to rock an outfit. Back a nigga in a sec, hit a bitch with a weapon on the kids. Teach you these lessons, thank me for your blessings. You can tell that I'm wearing public creep. Niggas stare, haters around me, I'm aware. Shit don't stop and rotate. Trap here to take your space. Little nigga learn embrace. Niggas making big moves. You just another face. Peep you in the crowd. On stage you ain't allowed. Moving bricks, bitch, I'm about to catch a lick. Hold on, talk slick, I don't snatch your ass quick. I don't smoke no damn nicks. Fuck it quick, tell that bitch to suck a dick. If they want war, tell her pull up to my door. Say you're back as a corpse. On me ain't no marks, I doesn't send a dog.